take a look.
Once upon a time, the infamous rover Reynardo plundered the floating isles. Then his mother called him to her deathbed. "Swear to me that you won't die on the gallows," she rasped. Reluctantly, he swore. And he whiled away his days at home with music, cards, and wine. But the Emperor had changed. He'd been good once, a shy, almost humble toad. He'd built universities. But then people started whispering about mass graves in the woods, midnight rituals, victims screaming. The Imperial Ravens would round up entire villages, and no one ever returned.
Oh no.
The Ravens had come to Ubar scouting for ancient books said to be of great power. But the librarians had hidden the books, so they'd burnt the librarians. The citizens, outraged, had driven them off. The Ravens had come back with dropships. The kid had fled with one of those books. He was brave and dumb and wanted to join the rebellion.
Yay.
And Reynardo had promised his mother he'd protect him.
Yay.
The kid was looking down, watching his city burn. "Sorry, kid," Reynardo told the kid. "Look, if we give them the book, they'll leave you alone." "My mother died for this book!" "I promised her I'd protect you." Oh, damn it. The kid had run off. With the book, of course.
Yay.
So Reynardo had to run after him.
Peter. What a name. Okay. This does nothing. This does nothing. This does nothing. 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 So all I can do is run around and attack. How's the audio for you guys? Like, when they talked and now they're attacking. Also my voice. Like, you hear me clearly, but you also hear the game good enough. Music, effects, the voice acting. This is your chance to give me feedback. Interactive. Interactivity on Twitch with your streamer. Yes. And when no one answers, then I know the people are not here or the delay is too huge.
The two Ravens were staring at the kid like he was their dinner, which probably was what was in their tiny brains.
No.
"Hey," Reynardo said. They cocked their heads at him. "Pick on someone as ugly as you." Wait, that didn't come out right. "For the Emperor!" The Ravens cawed and rushed at him.
Okay. When an enemy is about to attack, move and X to counter. Countering can interrupt any action. But is there a focus button? Okay, that helps. I think voice gets a little swallowed by the overall game audio. Okay. Then I will push the dialogue a little bit up. Feel almost the effects can go down one. Maybe the music one up. I shall see. I leave it at that, and you can tell me again.
A dropship flew overhead. He hoped they hadn't noticed him. The kid.
good enough, or shall I put it up another notch? I don't mind. It's like... Hold X to grab. Aim. Release. Okay. Goodbye. They are birds. Why would they die from that? Huh?
Oh, right. The Gate of Heroes. Someone's idea of a joke, making the Skyship docks a gated community. You needed a hero's sword to open it. And the kid was on the other side of the gate. Who let you through? Promise me you'll take the book to the rebels. Or I'm gonna steal your ship. I'm not taking that damn book anywhere, and neither are you. Try and stop me, laughed the kid. I bet you don't even have a hero sword. And with that, the kid hopped away. Had to hand it to the kid. He was an idiot, but he had guts. Where was Hernardo going to get a hero sword?
I wonder. Oh no. What coincidence.
Ore and wind essence? That sounds about right. I'll need a workshop, though.
I don't know. Let's try this one.
Perfect.
Sword crafting. This is the sword crafting menu. Here you can craft and upgrade powerful magic swords. Gather the required materials from the chests scattered throughout Boreas. Select the sword's current level and special power. Select the sword's special power at the next level. Look badass! Yeah, cool! The resources needed for the upgrade. Okay, so we're going to make the sword look badass now.
A hero sword. QED.
Cool. You know,
This is what he got for settling down and finding people to care about. The kid's mum had been a swell cook, and she'd laughed at Renado's jokes, even when he didn't know he'd made one. And then the ravens had come to burn her. And she'd made him promise to protect the kid. But she never told him where the book was. Just the kid.
you know, it's like, oh no, I need a hero sword. How conveniently that I can make one out of the blue.
He came up to a ledge. It was too far to jump. There'd been a bridge here before, hadn't there? And there was Peter, giggling at him. How'd you get across? He asked the kid. Where'd you find a hook? I hopped, said the kid. Wise-ass kid. Hey, look out behind you! Cute, said Renato. Ah, ravens.
Oh no.
It was time to talk some sense into the kid. Just hook his way across the ledge and chase the kid down. Thing was, he hadn't used his hook since he'd retired. How had he done it? Maybe if he meditated at that altar there, he'd remember his old skills.
Just meditate, bro. It's easy. 1 second. Now we know, if you ever forget something, meditate. Skills. Each time you gain a level, you also gain a skill point. Spend your skill points at the altars scattered throughout Boreas to gain new powerful abilities to upgrade existing ones. There are 4 tiers of skills. The more truths you discover, the more tiers you unlock, which makes sense. Here you can find the description of each skill and unlock the requirements. Crazy! You have 1 skill point. No. Why to use? Okay.
It was starting to come back to him. Something you never completely forgot, like how to freeze time when attacking. The more he fought, the more he'd probably remember.
Crazy. Posts can be hooked in order to cross gaps. Press Y to hook posts or to pull enemy towards you. Makes sense. Okay, and how did the kid do
The
that?
Farfarer. She was the fastest ship he'd ever known. She could do the Kessel run in 12 furlongs. Well, so the salesman had told him. And something told him the kid was about to walk into an ambush. Stop! He shouted. I'm not giving you the book! Shouted the kid, and took off. No! Peter! But the kid ran for it. And a goggler nailed him with its ivy.
A goggler. You know, they do this and then they come up with some Star Wars joke. I kill it with 1 hit. Okay, sure.
The book was unburned. Next to it were the buckles from the kid's shoes in a kid-sized pile of ashes.
Oh no.
Damn it. Why hadn't he lied and told the kid he'd take the book to the rebels? The kid would be alive now. Really pissed off and betrayed, but alive. Oh, damn it. Renato picked up the book. He couldn't let the Empire have it now. He was going to have to get it out of there. He'd be a wanted man. Probably have to join the rebellion just to have a place to dock.
Yay.
Well, he'd hated home life anyway.
La 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 la. Oh. The tutorial didn't told me about that. I feel offended.
What was the big deal about this book anyway? Maybe he should open it and find out.
But letters that form words.
All that had been years ago. How many? The war was a blur, and now 3 Raven scout ships were chasing him. Where are you running, rebel? Cawed the Raven captain over the loud hailer. Renato could see them cranking up their catapults. Just going out for milk? Renato yelled back. Where can you run? Laughed the Raven horribly. Far behind him, another city was burning. The dark cloud above its island was thousands of Imperial ships. The fleet was doing a thorough job. Take us to the rebel base, and we'll spare your life! It called. The entire jury-rigged rebel fleet was only a few islands to the east. Beyond that were only the pillars of heaven, a sea of endless blood-colored tornadoes. The rebellion was out of time, unless Renato could bring a game-changer. Maybe he could. Renato had found out where he could find the pieces of the Sky Ripper, the legendary weapon that had exiled the lost gods. Surely a legendary weapon could win the final battle. On the other hand, his old friend Lupino had sent Renato a desperate message saying he had a brilliant scheme to save the rebellion. If Renato could only rescue him. Renato dived the Farfarer towards the abyss. as he felt the heat of the jet stream. The Raven ships peeled off, not stable enough to follow him down there. Now it was time to choose. Lapino or the Sky Ripper?
You can't make new old friends. The rebellion was out of time and Reynardo needed a game changer. Even though Lapino wasn't what anyone would consider a game changer, he considered he could come up with some harebrained schemes. Maybe rescuing him was worth it. 1 second. I feel like the music is still too loud. An ancient artifact that defeated the lost gods would indeed be a game changer, though it was split into 2 pieces many years ago. Reynardo could rebuild it by first getting its armature. Well, would like the chat decide which of those 2 we're gonna do? Any wishes? Music is still loud. Now it's more acceptable, I think. Any wishes? Why is the music still like that? Did it even change the music? I have a feeling this has no effect on this music. I don't know. Anyone? Any wishes? Yay. Coffee, come on. Now it's your time to shine. I'm curious. What if I turn it off? Will it still play music? It actually will. What is this? Is this bound to the dialogue volume? I don't know. Huh? Look, 2 choices. Choose one. Shall we go to our hare friend? Or shall we put together the ancient artifact that defeated the lost gods? Friend. Okay, let's go, friend.
Ah, Lapino. Apparently, the Mad Rabbit had sold a Pegasus that he did not exactly own. Lapino always wiggled out of trouble given time, but he was out of time. The Ravens had figured out that Lapino was a rebel spy. If the fleet reached him first, they'd string him up for that. Never mind the winged horse. Lapino had apparently managed to confuse the judge by arguing that he hadn't actually stolen a winged horse. He'd only sold it. But wait, where was the prison? The village was empty. Had everybody fled the Ravens? Bernardo's blood was up. He just needed to smash something.
Yes. Just smash it. We all know smashing is good. Let me smash. Yes. Need more ore for the sword. Gem socketing. This is the gem socketing menu. Here you can equip powerful gems that will augment both your offensive and defensive capabilities. The gauntlet has 3 sockets. Each gem has 3 levels and its effect increases with each level. Picking up a gem you already have will automatically upgrade that gem's level. You can find gems in chests scattered throughout areas, if you're lucky enough. Right? But at this point I don't have it. How sad.
Renato wondered what would happen if he jumped. Would he be rescued by an emergency platform?
Nobody knows, since I cannot jump.
The ravens had taken the town. Renato had seen villages emptied like this. All the people taken away to be sacrificed in the Emperor's secret rituals. Renato hoped the people were just hiding.
Rituals!
It was good to practice your moves, thought Renato. Keeps you limber.
Yeah. Fixed camera is weird. I mean, I get it. Uh-huh. Okay. We don't have that yet. I feel like every barrel has like only healing in it. More things to pick up. Carrot. Do.
Can't we just agree to disagree? Said Renato. No?
Yeah, it's a reactive system, as I just noticed. So you have...
Ravens were landing everywhere. The advance guard. He'd better get moving. If they got to Lupino first, they'd eat him for breakfast. Or a snack. Ravens weren't picky. If they got hungry, they sometimes forgot to interrogate their prisoners. Even top spies like Lupino. Where had the mad rabbit got to?
I like how the game is like gating me in like, oh no, you cannot go back for some reason. Also, it's an automatically system, so there's no manual lock. It just locks on to the enemy you are attacking. But you can do reaction combat, so if there's an enemy behind you trying to attack you, you just aim your stick at the enemy and attack, so you can basically block the attack. So it's not bad. It looks choppy, but it's actually working as intended. It's just funny you cannot jump. It's like, I want to jump with this button, and I press it and nothing happens. Right. More stuff. Did we get all the stuff we need? Yes. So many windmills.
Renato felt like he was ready to learn new things. Thank goodness he didn't have to go to school for that.
A supernatural dash. Press this to use it. Okay.
It was starting to come back to him. Something you never completely forgot, like how to freeze time when attacking. The more he fought, the more he'd probably remember.
Sorry. Yeah. Okay, it uses stamina. But nice. Oh, this looks not like we're gonna fight. The funny part is it feels on the controller just how it looks, like choppy. Like, huh. Like, that's how it feels on the controller, because I'm like smashing the button to attack, and it only attacks when it actually wants to attack. You cannot attack faster.
Renato felt a chill run down his back. Or possibly a flea.
Don't use that yet. Wrong sword. I like how doors require swords.
Renato felt ready to take on new powers.
How scripted. Okay, what do we want? Perfect strike. Attack immediately when the previous attack hits to land a perfect strike. Bonus damage and double combo bonus. Slow down time after a successful counter until your next action. Take a breather and plan your next move. Countering attack now causes damage. Increase your maximum health or run faster. You know what? I'm going to start with countering an attack causes damage. If I can, of course.
He'd missed his old skills. He welcomed them back like it was at a reunion.
The running faster is very tempting. Oh look, our friend.
Dirty and bloody, Renato finally reached Lapino. The rabbit was practicing his shuffle. Renato recognized the cards. It was Lapino's favorite deck. Oh, I thought you were in danger. I am. The ravens are coming. Oh, the prison thing. Right, yeah, we see this guard owed me 53 ducats, so we made a deal. They're very reasonable people, actually, for weasels. Now, I got a brilliant plan to kidnap Zenobia. We capture Zenobia, we find out what she knows, and that's the whole war right there. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Capture the Emperor's greatest general, who also happened to be a deadly sorcerer and, oh, his only daughter. That would be worth it. On the other hand, he could still get to the core of the Sky Ripper, even if he couldn't get the whole thing. It must have great power.
Maybe Lapino was right. Maybe they should go kidnap the Emperor's only daughter and greatest general, Zenobia. Extracting intel out of her would turn the tide of the Civil War. Even though Reynardo could no longer get the Skyripper's armature, its core was still within reach. Maybe he could still harness its power with Lapino's help. Come on, Coffee. Which one do you want? Meanwhile, Coffee's oven is like, I'm playing a game. I don't have time to type in chat. She is the Emperor's only daughter and greatest general. Bum, 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 bum. Yeah.
Zenobia wasn't just the Emperor's daughter, of course. She'd been Reynardo's best friend in Sword Fu school. And you're
Sword
still
Fu.
mad for her. The rabbit reminded him. They'd been close. She'd told him things no one else knew. But she'd never told him who she really was. She knows all the Emperor's plans, chuckled the master spy. She won't give them up easily. She'll tell the interrogators, all right, said Lapino. Taking her would change the game, all right.
Always remember.
The city was already under Zenobia's control. I had to admire her efficiency. Reynardo shivered at the thought of Zenobia at the mercy of the interrogators. Could he really turn her over to them? But this was war. It wasn't meant to be pretty.
Always remember Coffee Siphon. Sword Fu. Sword Fu. Yes. Instead of Kung Fu, Sword Fu. So silent. Feel like they are missing like some effect sound here. Strange. Now the music is very quiet. Now it's better. Double speed's too much.
Hero wall, hero sword, ice wall, ice cube.
Sure. It's one of those. And it was gone. And it's gone. Oh. Oh. Oh.
Anyone ever tell you have a lovely eye? No?
Whoops. Ba, ba, ba. Sword Fu.
So, what's this plan of yours? Use me as bait, said Lapino. And he outlined a slightly complicated plan that involved geese, a net, setting the Farfarer a little bit on fire, Lapino dressing as an old blind toad, and Reynardo hiding inside a monstrous watermelon.
What?
What could possibly go wrong? Thought Renato.
So what are we doing? Are we doing this plan or are we not doing this plan? Feel free to choose. It's your time to shine. Indeed. What will it be? Crazy plan? Not crazy plan. One second. You did so well with the decisions, Coffee Siphon. How about another one? Getting involved. Bum, bum, bum. Not sure about this one though. And yet you have to make one. Go for his scheme then. Okay.
Oh, this is gonna be fun, said Lapino as he ran to go set up his marvelous plan.
My last choice of the day. I need rest.
If I craft a sword now, it's gonna be really short.
Oh, coffee. But I can't. I don't have enough ore. Let me guess. I instantly gonna get ore. Just down this road. Just down the road. Just down the road. Yeah.
He wasn't that good. Yet.
True. Oops. Interesting. That was a lot of damage. Oh, right. It's not gonna let me go back. I forgot. I forgot. Great. Nice pot.
Renato felt dubious about the whole plan. With every step, he was waiting for it all to go horribly wrong. But against all odds, Peppino's idiotic plan worked. Zenobia's ravens ran off after the geese, the net dropped, and Renato jumped out of the watermelon and put his sword to Zenobia's throat. Renato, she said, are those new scars? They look good on you. You never returned my velvet jacket. It was my favorite. You look stupid in velvet. Oh, what does an imperial princess know about style? Oh, get a room, you two, said Lapino. But the fleet was coming on fast, so they put Zenobia on the Farfarer and took her east over the Nexus. She'd vanished from Swordfu School, from his life, without even saying goodbye, without ever telling him she was the Emperor's adopted daughter. Ah, Lapino was right, Renato thought reluctantly. She knows things. She recognized his look. You're taking me to the interrogators, aren't you? She said, wide-eyed. And then she jumped, with horror. Renato saw Zenobia plummeting. Then he saw the Nexus below them. Cats always land on their feet. Ah, she'll head for the Imperial outpost, yelled Lapino. You have to catch her. Cats can run faster, but foxes can run longer. If he ran, he could head her off before she reached her minions at the outpost. Well, he did love a good chase.
Now did we? No.
There was an inscription on the platform. Balaleka lessons with an address.
Why is that important? Balaleka lessons. Give me those delicious apples.
Sometimes, Renata really hated inanimate objects.
Only sometimes. Especially on Wednesdays. Which of course makes sense. Wrong sword.
I wonder what I could make with all these sword crafting materials, thought Renato.
I don't know. Probably some delicious burritos.
Who needed bridges anyway?
Agree. Bridges are overrated. Just float. Like any good cat. Sometimes you are floating, sometimes you are sidewaying. Hello. Fire elemental. Avoid the warlock's fire spell. It will damage everyone in the area once it explodes. Okay. Aha. Oh, interesting. This crystal. Ah, okay. I was like, why is this crystal so resistant to my damage? Who bought damage resistance for this specific crystal? Oh, okay. Yeah. This can potentially make me a new sword. Me. Shall see.
He was closing on her. He could smell her fear. He tried not to think about the interrogators at the secret base. What they'd do to her. Maybe it didn't have to end that way. Maybe he could talk to her. But after all, there were worse things the Imperials had done to friends of his. A crafting bench. Renato wondered what he could make with it.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe a new sword? Okay, I could make a fire sword. A void blade or winter thorn. Winter thorn is not possible yet, so let's upgrade it to this. Okay. Hold right trigger to activate magic swords. Swords consume energy while activated. Left digital peg to switch swords. Okay. Still have no gems, huh? Yep. I see. Okay. Almost died.
Renato reached the outpost. The Imperials there were no match for him. Soon after, Zenobia limped up the path. When she realized he was already in front of her, she didn't even try to run. Oh, you left without saying goodbye. Again, he said, please. You're enjoying this a little too much. She said, shaken. Oh, spare us the chit-chat, would you? Said Lapino as he shackled her hands so she couldn't throw spells. She knows all his plans. All the way back to the Farfarer. Lapino nagged Renato about how the interrogators would pry all the intel out of Zenobia. How that would turn the tides in the imminent battle. All they had to do was take her to the rebels' secret base. Renato didn't like to think about what the interrogators would do to her. Couldn't he just talk to her?
Once again, Zenobia was Renato's prisoner. The next stop would be the rebel base. But the things the interrogators would do to her, Renato could skip the base and find himself a way to interrogate Zenobia himself. The things the interrogators would do to her, the thought made Renato shudder, but it was necessary so they would win the war. Yes, he would take Zenobia to the secret rebel base. Well, we're gonna go with the first option.
As they pulled away from the Nexus.
Thank you, Alunia, for being here. Take care. Bye
I
bye.
can't take it to those creatures at the base. He whispered to Lapino. Ah, you've gone soft. Soft in the head. We captured her for what she knows. I'll take her to the mountains. Tell all the horrible things the Emperor's done. Yeah, believe me, she'll turn. And he turned the wheel. The hell you will, shouted Lapino, and he grabbed the wheel back from him. The two of them wrestled for control of the ship. It shot off like a mad sparrow. Suddenly, Renato was falling. When he came to, Zenobia was standing over him. Why didn't you take me to the base to be interrogated? She demanded. Do you know what's left of people they interrogate? This is some trick, isn't it? To make me fall for you again. Well, I won't. Oh, go on then. Scurry back to your ravens. I can't stop you. But strangely, she didn't. As Renato set off to find the Farfarer, she followed him. keeping just out of sight of the ravens.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, we can't do anything yet.
He felt like Tarzan.
Sure. I don't even know if I'm going the right way. Slowly getting the hang of the combat. But still, I could use some healing. This feels like it's the right way. Are you kidding me? Can't go back? You could go back, except you can't. Sadness. Energy. Yeah, for the magic sword. I see.
If only he had some way to break the ice. Or convince it he was a friend.
Convince your sword that it is friend. And I did. I did. Oh no, I did. How dare.
Get over here.
Is this a Mortal Kombat reference? Well, yes, it is.
As Renato stopped to sniff the wind, Zenobia came up, still mad. Did you really think you'd just talk me into betraying my father? Oh yeah, sure, that was exactly my plan. Then why aren't you even talking to me? Because I've never talked you into anything in my life. They're gonna court-martial you for letting me go. He caught a whiff of the Farfarer. Wet rope, tar, and a cask of Scobel ale he'd spilt last year. It was that way.
Sure. I believe it. On this giant mountain, I can smell my airship. It makes perfect sense. Where are we going? We skip so much. We skip so much.
Renato's paws were getting numb. Calaveras really didn't want company, did he?
We literally skipped the entire mountain. Sure.
Renato wondered if he should have taken Zenobia to the rebel base for real. Maybe she wasn't playing him after all. After the bleak talk about the Emperor's dark secrets, he was regretting his suspicions.
Anger management.
Renato felt a little better.
Yes. Just because I hit things, I have anger management. Of course. Makes perfect sense. Uh-huh.
Sure enough, the Farfarer had crashed in some rocks. There was no sign of Lupino. Zenobia caught up. All that kid stuff in Swordfu School. Look, that's the past. We're adults now. We have duties to other people. We have destinies. What are you talking about? And you are the most arrogant, slow-witted, light-fingered, mercenary, immoral, reckless. Run away with me, said Renato, and he realized he meant it. Oh, just like that, she demanded. I will, if you will. So she kissed him. And it was the best kiss he'd ever had. They held hands as they boarded the Farfarer. Renato felt light-hearted, like the winds that were playing the rigging like a balalaika. But Lupino, I need to get back to Lupino, he said, suddenly realizing he could have been captured. A prisoner. He's not. How'd you know? He saw something in her eyes he didn't understand. He fell, didn't he? Into the abyss. She looked away, wouldn't answer. But then a bolt smashed through the Farfarer's keel. The broken ship plummeted out of the clouds.
And just repeating what just happened again. Like, we did this before. Let's do it again.
Himself off the deck. They were alive. We have to get to my private ship, she said. Do you trust me? I guess I must, he said. You go on ahead. Clear the path, she said. I can't kill my own soldiers. He wanted to say that he didn't trust her, that he had no idea what he was getting into. But he had no choice, did he? He was following his heart. That's what it means to be a hero. You had to follow your heart.
Yay. Follow your heart, Bilbo Baggins. Right. Sure, let's do the perfect.
He was more and more extraordinary.
He's more and more extraordinary. What everybody strives to be. Extraordinary.
That is how we do it, said Renato to himself.
Now the question is, should I go on that or should I take the other path? And it was a good choice to go back. Finders keepers. Yes. More health. Almost full. That's a lot
It was a
of
bit
warship.
windy up here.
It was. I like how the game sometimes just screws me over. Just ever so slightly.
There had to be something useful in these things, didn't there?
Yes. That's why I keep killing them. Well, thank you, Bob. I shall do so, Bob. Let's do an audio save. Okay.
Renato wondered if his future self had commissioned these poles.
It's interesting. Take quite a lot of damage in some of those fights. Yeah, I'm going to die in this
Time
fight.
to die, he thought. And it was.
You have died. You have died. You have died.
Wow! That hurt!
You have died. Okay.
become faster, stronger, bolder. If only he could figure out which.
I know. Whoa.
They paused to catch their breath. It was strange to be so close to her. What are you thinking? He asked. I'm trying very hard not to think. Me too, he said. Up ahead, he could see the thin silver of Zenobia's personal ship. It looked fast. They would leave all this behind.
Uh-huh. Yeah. It had everything except healing. Well, if I had to criticize something, then it would be there's not enough healing in those chests and boxes. Well, actually boxes, not the chests.
There were stickers all over the platform for really hot lady foxes, with pictures and addresses and everything.
Gonna be one of those fights. Oh no.
He thought. I'm the hero.
Oh, he can die. A little bit more healing wouldn't be bad. Oh. I was like, where do I go? I don't know. Oh, great. Shield grunts will block your attacks. Grab and throw another grunt into him, and his shield will be knocked away. Oh! Of course. Makes sense. Not sure about the difficulty of this game.
Hey! Hey! I'm a Firefox, thought Renato.
He's a browser. Jesus. What is this? Yay. Okay. Game! Let me
As they
heal.
reached her ship, Renato suddenly felt a sharp pain in his stomach. He was surprised to see a crossbow bolt sticking out of it.
Oh.
I was going to lead the Empire to a secret base, said Lapino. But no, you had to screw up my plan because you still got a thing for her. Renato stared at Zenobia. The kiss, was it real? She said, with a look of indescribable sorrow. She gestured and said an arcane word, and Lapino went flying into the abyss, screaming, "I'm telling your father!" Then she knelt down to cradle his head, and her paws felt very soft and warm.
Pauses.
Okay, that was weird. He could have sworn he just died. Instead, he was on the Farfarer, sailing away from Ubar. And it was still burning. He'd fled burning Ubar years ago, hadn't he? And now he was back there. Had all those years fighting the Empire been nothing but a vision into the future? A useful vision if it was true. He'd learned something. Lapino was a traitor. Renato had suspected there was something wrong with the Mad Rabbit, but now he knew there was malice behind his goofiness.
New truth revealed. Lapino is a traitor. Tier 2 skills unlocked. New location unlocked. Desert Temple. Sure? Don't think twice.
He'd made bad choices. But now, when the real battle came, he wouldn't make those choices. He wouldn't make the same mistake twice. The book's pages began to flip backwards, towards the beginning. And he realized that his adventure was just beginning. The clouds parted over the Isles of Boreas. It was time to choose. The rebellion was in trouble. Ravens were scouting for the secret rebel base. They needed a game changer. Pieces of the Sky Ripper had surfaced, or so a scholar in the mountains had told him. Surely the weapon that banished the lost gods could defeat the Emperor. Also, a temple had risen out of empty desert. The Emperor had brought the Sky Ripper pieces up out of ancient burial by his obscene rituals. Could this be where the Iblis stone was hidden? Someone better get it before he does, thought Renato. And also, his old friend Lapino needed rescuing, of course. Renato had a pretty strong suspicion that Lapino had betrayed the rebellion. But could Renato really leave an old friend to the Ravens?
Okay.
Every child knew about the Sky Ripper. The Transcendent Emperor had buried its pieces. What could have brought them to light? This Emperor, Isengrim III, had once been kind, but he'd gone mad. And now he was conducting secret, obscene rituals to bring back the lost gods. Had he, somehow, summoned the long-lost components of the legendary weapon out of the deep places of the earth? It was more than Renato could fathom. But if he could find a legendary weapon, he would use it. As he set foot on the island, Renato couldn't help feeling a bit curious. Was Lapino still waiting to be rescued? No. He was probably drinking champagne with the ravens. Did ravens drink champagne? Did rabbits? Renato felt oddly thirsty, come to think of it. Why had he chosen the Sky Ripper? Renato never made plans that required constant vigilance. He was a hero. He didn't think too much. He just went with his gut and hoped it all worked out. The Sky Ripper was a long shot. He'd have to devote himself to it. No side journeys, no rescuing old friends. That was against his nature. Could he stick with it?
Okay.
What could he craft with the materials he had? Renato had a pretty good idea, actually.
Boxes you are. Welcome to Swamp Mine. So we could upgrade the fire sword, normal sword. But we still cannot make the other ones. Also ignites all surrounding enemies. Allows to heal oneself. I will go with this.
Trusty old sword was always a little better when he sharpened it.
Okay. We are now Indiana Fox. Indiana Fox and the Lost Temple of Secrets, I guess. Maybe. Whoops.
Say goodnight, Gracie, said Renato, wondering who Gracie was.
Not Gracie? Why Gracie? Huh? Okay, I thought. Oh. Okay, I died.
So this was what it was like to die. Not nearly as much fun as they said.
Why would it be fun? Oh. Dying is fun. Not now, Goofy.
The people who had built this castle, did they even know what monstrous weapon lay hidden within their walls? The Sky Ripper could destroy anything it touched, or so the legend said. As the Transcendent Emperor had fought the lost gods, thousands of thousands had died. But Renato had been through wars. The only merciful war was a short one.
Haha! Have I heard? The endless destruction weapon? I know where it is. Not gonna tell you. Silly person. It's one of those weapons, I see.
Renato had been the terror of the sandcastles when he was two.
Two skill points, that's almost, like, nice. Slow down time after a successful counter until your next action. Okay. I think I'm going with more life.
That could come in handy in a pinch.
And I wanna run faster. Impale your enemy on your sword when you grab him to cause damage. Attack enemies at distance auto activates when reaching a certain combo threshold. Target an enemy with dash to move through him and cause damage. Does not work on shield wielding enemies. Hooking a shield wielding enemy will rip away their shield, leaving them vulnerable. Now that's not bad. Wow, 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 wow.
Ice walls only let you through if they knew you were cool.
Wow, 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 wow. Me, 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 me. Sure, I need an enemy. Thank you. There we go.
Renato was remembering all his old tricks and some new ones.
Of course, I
He
cannot
really
go
ought
back.
to ask for a raise.
Why should I even go back, right? I could, like, level. Leveling is for fools. Taking a short break. Okay. Where is this even leading? Okay. What is this? The truth behind the Sky Ripper is shrouded in a thick fog. The most believable tale is that the Transcendent Emperor has used the Sky Ripper to banish Iblis. Then the TE buried the weapon and vanished. Was it a self-imposed exile to rid the world of its last divine presence? Or was it the price to pay for using such a tremendous power? Could the Sky Ripper and Iblis have a deeper connection than just a weapon and its victims? My rituals will summon the Iblis Stone. Perhaps I should worry that they will also cause the Sky Ripper to resurface. If that is the case, I should spare no resources to find it. A weapon that can banish a god is an invaluable bargaining chip should the old ones decide to double-cross me. It is in their nature to try. But gods are predictable, and I can rely on that to always be one step ahead. Emperor Eisengrim III, Secret Journal. But gods are predictable. Yes, totally. Extremely predictable. Or maybe they are not. I still cannot open void doors. Interesting.
Boy, if looks could kill.
Right? Whoa. Whoopsie.
Oh, you got such delicious looking eyeballs, called the lead raven. Thank you, I think, said Renato. It never hurt to be polite.
Can I? Thank you. Considering I'm basically dead. This game is killing me. Literally and in-game. Da, 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 dun, dun. Wait. Okay.
Ah, a puzzle. Renato loved puzzles, except when he couldn't figure them out. On the other hand, if there was a puzzle, it was probably meant to keep people away from something good.
Can I? Thank you. Thank you very much. Delicious.
Sweet! A gem. All he needed now was a workbench, and he could slot it into his gauntlet.
Yeah, that would be nice.
That had been his mistake before. Trusting his old friend Lapino, who'd been through so many battles with him and shed so many heartaches, who he'd rescued so many times. What was up with that guy anyway?
Yeah, what was up with this guy? Huh? Huh? Okay, let's see. feel like I want to get this so I can deal with shield guys more easily. Makes a lot of things easier. Oh look.
There it was. Skyripper's armature. The stuff that dreams are made of. Engineers' dreams, anyway. The device was intricate. No one alive had the skill to make a thing like it. How is it part of a weapon at all? He'd have to ask a scientist. But first, he'd get the second piece. Skyripper had a heart. A core that had come to rest on the next island. Well, there was another island he could reach. Zenobia had just invaded it with her father's Raven battalions. She must be encamped there still. But fighting Zenobia now, that made no sense at all. He'd already sacrificed one friend to get this armature, was it? He didn't need to hurry to face her. She would find him.
True. That's exactly why we can continue this.
It was a no-brainer. He'd sacrificed his old friend Lapino to get the armature. And the armature was useless by itself, only a series of coils and wheels. War demanded sacrifices, and he would make more before the end. He would have to choose the greatest good no matter how much it cost him. Zenobia. Well, he would see her sooner or later, across a battlefield or a sword's point before all this was over. He was sure of that. The power was in the core. Obviously, he had to get the core. He looked up at the old trees around him. They were so big and so old. They'd been there before he was born, and they'd be there after he'd passed into legend. Was he confronting his own unimportance? What had got into him? He was no philosopher. Anyway, who cares? He was plenty important. He was a hero, and soon he'd prove it.
Hero.
Once, Bernardo had opened a chest, and a Jack-in-the-Box jumped out. Jack-in-the-Boxes, they gave him the Wiggins.
The Wiggins. Now there's a word to learn. The Wiggins. Horse. The Wiggins. What's this? Jump down? Why? I feel I have just skipped treasure. Potentially. The Wiggins.
There was something sour in the air. Like the earth had ruptured over something that had been fermenting for a very long time.
Kimchi? Delicious kimchi?
Well, no sense collecting more materials. It was time to make something pointy.
No problem. Give me a workbench. Easy as that. Okay, just don't attack? Ow?
There were fewer and fewer trees. There were only these huge crystalline growths. Had those been here before? He no longer heard birds except for the feverish cawing of the ravens when they attacked. He couldn't smell the small animals of the forest, the mice and rabbits. Where had they gone? And he was getting hungry too. This was an unhealthy place to be.
True. Oh wait, the energy actually recharges on its own. That's interesting.
Say, how are you guys fixed for life insurance?
Of course. You have thought. Oh, just normal things, right? Just wish this guy. Oh,
Can I borrow that?
yay. No materials so far to actually break, which is kind of unsettling. Oh look, there it is. Just there.
The 20-sided core made him feel physically sick. Once he had sneaked into a temple of the dark art and he hadn't liked what he smelt and saw there. This felt like that. As quick as he could, he wrangled the icosahedron into the armature. The wheels began to spin, then glow. The sick feeling quickly spun away. Now he only felt sad. He had lost good friends for this war apparatus. Maybe Lapino wasn't such a good friend. Yeah, that made him feel better. He carried his prize back to the Farfarer. Now, he had to make his next move. There was a key Imperial outpost on the Nexus. If this really was some sort of super weapon, he could use it to wreak havoc on the enemy. And if it wasn't, well, better to know that before the final battle. But maybe he should show it to some scientists first. There was an observatory on the Nexus. Maybe he should go there before he fired it.
I have a feeling scientists are going to betray me. So let's just just fire it.
Renato had never been much of a student. At Swordfu School, he'd never read the books, just looked at the pictures. And Zenobia. But weapons he understood. His gut told him that the Skyripper would work great. He would use it to take out the Imperial outpost. And what's the worst that could happen? The thing wouldn't work, and then he'd take it to the scientists. Right? Exactly.
Perfect. Best decision ever. Nothing can go wrong.
As he set out down the path, Renato wondered why the parts of the Skyripper had only surfaced now, thousands of years after the Transcendent Emperor had discarded it. This Emperor, Isengrim III, had performed terrible, bloodthirsty rituals to invoke the lost gods. Perhaps that was bringing up lost artifacts. How perfect, then, that the Sky Ripper would reappear to be his destruction.
Yay! Destruction.
Whee!
I like the enthusiasm of the narrator. Like, wee!
What did you do if one of these platforms stalled?
Good question. I like it. Yeah, what would you do? Right?
It was time to make a new sword.
First, it is time to heal. A skill point. Increase maximum stamina. I feel like this is
Cool.
useful.
Wish I could do that. Well, Renata felt a breeze through his armor. Oh dear, that wasn't good.
Oh no. Breathable armor. Oh dear.
He was tired of slaughtering ravens. Maybe it was time to test out the new weapon. He turned a knob on the Sky Ripper. It made strange mechanical noises. The wheels spun faster. It began to hum. The Sky Ripper was following his every step. At least it acknowledged him as the master. But there was no trigger. How was he supposed to fire it? Fire, he said. Nothing happened. Well, maybe it just needed to warm up. After all, it hadn't been fired in thousands of years.
Maybe you need to replace the batteries. Audio save.
The Sky Ripper had been built by the Transcendent Emperor. To figure it out, he just had to think like a legendary demigod. That actually wasn't as helpful as it sounded.
Oh really?
Think of all the artisans he was creating employment for. Truly, he was a job creator.
That's things I would say. So That makes sense. Finally, I can put in the gem. Energy on kill. Yes, please. I only need one water essence to make the ice salt. If I nom now 50, I have so many. I don't know if I wanna actually. I'm not very fond of the fire sword as it is right now. Like, I would like it to actually ignite enemies when I attack with them and not use the energy. Like, I'd rather not want to upgrade that. Be honest. Okay, let me guess. He explodes. Watch out for explosive ravens. When hit or thrown, they will explode after a few seconds. Use them to your advantage. Who would have thought? Okay, they just explode on their own. Now I like that the weapon is actually helping me.
The Sky Ripper was making a whining noise now, and its wheels were spinning so fast he could no longer see them. Bernardo had a thought. "Please?" he asked. The Sky Ripper began to glow. Boom! The outpost burst into flame. Ravens flapped out screaming, wings on fire. The base was his. The far-speaker toad came hopping out. "Bernardo!" it croaked, sounding like a toad version of Zenobia. "Don't use the Sky Ripper. It will destroy the world." "Yeah, sure it will," cracked Renato. "Pull the other one." "If you don't trust me, go see Calaveras. He'll tell you the same thing." Oh, she would say that. That sounded sensible. Why did she always have to sound sensible all the time? Oh, it was infuriating. Of course she would say that. He was supposed to hurry and bring the Sky Ripper to the council so the rebels could actually win the war. But what if she was right? Damn it.
Goes, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, let's go with this.
Zenobia was so frustrating. If she couldn't get you with magic, she'd get you with reason and caution and sensible arguments. Of course, Calaveras, he might not know the latest scientific theories with evidence and all, but Renato preferred the knowledge in the old books anyway. What they said felt true. And that's what's important. You should be careful, though. She'd probably guess he'd come here. That meant she'd probably set an ambush for him.
Feels true?
Renato landed on the island, expecting Zenobia's ambush at any moment. On the other hand, there did seem to be a lot of ravens around here. Were they just lost patrols stirring up trouble? Were they looking for him? If she was going to ambush him, wouldn't she keep the road clear so he wouldn't be on his guard? Or, unless they were part of the ambush, the obvious reasons he was meant to see to take his mind off the ones he wouldn't see. God, after all these years, she still drove him crazy. That was always a rush.
Maybe she knows that I know, so they think that I will know, so I won't know, so they will know that I know that I don't know. What?
Good thing Renato didn't have vertigo. Zenobia's ambush never materialized. Could she be sincere? Calaveras was a great scholar. Renato doubted even Zenobia could convince him to say something he didn't believe. And if he was working for the Empire, he'd never have told Renato about the Sky Ripper in the first place. Well, he would listen to the wise old toad, but that didn't mean he had to agree.
That was awesome!
Revel up. It's quite an interesting game. It has its moments where I feel like it feels a little bit imbalanced. Okay, I mean, I'm here. What the? Ah. I was like, where to go? And then I knew.
With this device, he could travel at night, so long as there were ravens to set on fire.
Yeah, I agree. Can I keep it forever? Like forever, ever. I don't know which way is the right way. Oh. This answers my question.
He was practically sure he'd find something useful in one of these things.
La 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 la. Rawr. Ba, 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 ba. What are you doing in Twitch? I play games that nobody watches. Yeah. Video games so ancient, nobody remembers. The art of non-remembered games. Oh, we're back here. I am.
Why? Why did he listen to Zenobia? She was the enemy. Of course she didn't want him to use his shiny new weapon. The thing was, though, she was appallingly honest. I mean, she wouldn't lie even to an enemy. At least she'd never lied to him. So if she said he had to see Calaveras, it probably was a good idea to see him. Ugh, it was infuriating.
Infuriating.
Huh? A lever? That was new. Most people still use doorknobs.
Well, I prefer that setting. Run! Run, little girl. Run. Before Grandma's catching up. Run. Oh no, I can't destroy it. Okay, harsh kill point. Let's see. More health? I mean, why not?
Calaveras examined the Sky Ripper eagerly. How often does a new relic surface? He brushed off Zenobia's warning. Oh, what do sorceresses know about physics? However, he did know a few ways to make the weapon even more precise and more powerful, and quickly went off to tinker. Soon the Sky Ripper no longer whined, but thrummed like a hummingbird taking off. It was ready for war.
And so, Bernardo thanked Calaveras and took the legendary weapon to the final battle.
Oh no, the voiceover
But where were the
changed.
other rebel ships? Had something happened?
He could defeat the Imperial fleet with the Sky Ripper, but he couldn't govern. He was not cut out to be emperor, and he'd no desire to be one.
Why would it matter? Huh?
There were a few rebel ships here and there, but there was no organization to the battle. Where was the Council flagship? Something had gone terribly wrong.
But he had the Sky Ripper, and the Ravens had nowhere they could hide.
The Sky Ripper. You could give me a wind essence or water essence, but hey, whatever. Well, thank you, Bob. Cheers to you, Bob. And your cabins. Wow, 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 wow. Yeah, still can't pass through that. No skill upgrade. Why is this here?
The portal was heavily guarded. It must go someplace they really didn't want it to go.
Jesus. That thing literally destroys everything. I'll keep it. Sounds like a good idea.
It wasn't his fault. They looked so breakable.
Yes. So breakable, like coffee shop. Gently but decisively break him.
He was sort of yanking his own chain, wasn't he?
How was your break? Why is the game literally now giving me healing, healing, healing when I don't actually need it? Very useful.
ancient fur. His.
Oh no, not mine. Bounty camp.
Tempted to just stand on the device and let it do all the killing for him. But
Right?
that wouldn't be sporting, would it? Or fun?
Oh, it is fun. It is fun. I don't even know what these things do.
Renato wondered if he could learn to cook this way. Probably not.
What is this, Undertale? And today we are going to learn how to cook with a mass destructive weapon. Like, delicious spaghetti. Well, at this section, yeah.
The council speaker was on the deck, bleeding. Why was she even here? They found our base, she croaked. The council, all dead. We must surrender. No, we can still win this, said Renato. I have the Sky Ripper. He would be a real hero and save the day, even when all appeared to be lost.
And
You're a good boy, said the speaker. And then she died.
Black had the cancel is frogs instead of fish. Because all of this is a Star Wars reference. What a good boy. Oh no.
Kill the rebel! Caught one, Raven. Eat the rebel! Caught another.
Oh, oh. 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 C A B C.
Take a leap of faith, said the inscription.
Right. Reusing levels? Assets? What is this? A video game? Nobody knows. Okay, new enemy. Enchanters can buff and heal enemies. Buffed ravens are very dangerous. Well, then let's kill it. easy as that, I think. So many things to destroy. Why is it changing my camera?
He fired the Sky Ripper. With a tremendous whoosh, the
It's
Emperor's
like a small
flagship
Death
went up
Star.
in flames. And for good measure, he played the beam around it, setting all the other nearby Imperial ships on fire too. And he watched them burn. The few remaining rebels gave a cheer. And then they stopped cheering. There was a hole in the air.
Whoops.
A blackness, like a tear in a parchment. Wind was blowing into it, widening it. It grew larger. Crates were falling off ship decks, upwards into the hole.
Woo!
And the world itself seemed bent, like the reflection on a curved mirror as it poured into the ravenous hole. He guessed that somewhere behind that ever-widening hole were gods that had long been exiled. But it didn't really matter. Time was done for here, and soon it was. Renato stared at the book. He was still alive. Again. And still only flying away from burning Ubar. Had he lived that adventure? Or only dreamt it? Had he really died? It felt so real, not like a dream at all. And he'd lost again. Oh, he hated that. But he had made different choices. And he'd lost in a different way. It was the book, wasn't it? Oracles showed you your destiny. But this was showing him different ways he could die miserably. Thanks a bunch, book, he thought. But these were destinies that he did not have to fulfill. But he learned another true thing. The core was powerful, but dangerous if used improperly.
Sky Ripper core is unstable. Tier 3 skills unlocked. But this was different. It showed you how to die miserably. It's like, cool. Sounds like a good plan, right?
But that meant there must be a destiny where he survived and won, right? Otherwise, what was the point? And with that, the book's pages fluttered back once more to the beginning, and the clouds parted over the Isles of Boreas. It was time to choose. The rebellion was in trouble. Ravens were scouting for the secret rebel base. They needed a game changer. Pieces of the Sky Ripper had surfaced. Renato knew that using it could go catastrophically wrong. But he was sure he could figure out how to use it safely. Also, a temple had risen out of empty desert. The Emperor had brought the Sky Ripper pieces up out of ancient burial by his obscene rituals. Could this be where the Iblis stone was hidden? Someone better get it before he does, thought Renato. And also, his old friend Lapino needed rescuing. Of course, Renato had a pretty strong suspicion that Lapino had betrayed the rebellion. But could Renato really leave an old friend to the Ravens?
Oh no.
The island was windswept desert. No one went there except ostriches and ostrich hunters. The Iblis stone. It sounded ominous. It sounded powerful. If the Emperor was searching for it, it must be dangerous. And so, Renato went ostrich hunting.
Big eggs.
Every child could sing verses about the Sky Ripper, but ancient codices held hints of other things. A stone that ate souls, a ruby that drank blood, a jewel only a righteous man could give away. Were all these things the Iblis stone? Long hidden in a buried temple? Another ancient item that was only resurfacing now? Drawn up from the deeps by the Emperor's horrific rituals?
Who knows? Maybe we're gonna find out next time.